Forget quick fixes and self-help loops. Imagine a simple mechanism, an internal shift that unlocks profound emotional freedom. It's not about suppressing feelings, but about understanding their nature, which allows you to become resilient against life's storms. This is the 90-second rule, a guiding principle rooted in neuroscience. The chemical response that fuels our emotions lasts about 90 seconds. Dr. Jill Bolte-Taylor explains that after this, if emotions linger, it's due to our choice to re-stimulate those feelings through thoughts or memories. This realization is liberating. Your emotional suffering isn't dictated by the trigger, but by how you engage with the narrative around it. The initial emotion is like a wave. If you cling to it, you remain in a state of turbulence. The 90-second rule allows you to recognize the fleeting nature of emotions and create a space for freedom between the emotional surge and your response. Once you understand the 90-second reality, the next powerful tool in your toolkit is cognitive reframing. This is not just about superficial positive thinking. It involves actively and often subtly changing the meaning you assign to events and experiences. Consider two people stuck in traffic. One person fumes, curses, and feels their blood pressure rise, while the other uses the time to listen to an audiobook, mentally prepare a grocery list, or simply observe the world around them. The external situation is the same, but their internal experiences are radically different. What accounts for this variation? Their cognitive frame. Cognitive reframing is the art of viewing a situation from a different angle. It entails challenging the initial, often negative narrative you tell yourself. It's not about denying reality, rather, it's about finding alternative interpretations that serve you better. How does this connect to the 90-second rule? If the initial emotional reaction lasts only 90 seconds, any lingering distress is often fueled by the narrative you create. By reframing, you're essentially altering the fuel. Instead of thinking, "This is terrible, I'm going to be late, everything is ruined," you might reframe it as, "This is an unexpected pause. What can I do with this extra time?" Here are some practical examples. Instead of thinking, "I failed, I am a loser," reframe it as, "This is a learning opportunity. What can I gain from this experience?" Instead of "They don't like me, I am not good enough," reframe it as, "This feedback helps me grow. I can choose to learn from it or dismiss it." Instead of "I hate this feeling, I can't stand it," reframe it as, "This is temporary. What can I learn about myself by enduring this?" The power of reframing lies in its ability to disarm negative thought patterns. It's a conscious act of taking control of your internal dialogue, steering it away from destructive cycles and towards more empowering perspectives. It enables you to become the editor of your own story, rather than just a passive reader. Breaking rumination cycles, the silent saboteur. This is where the 90-second rule truly shines, especially when combined with reframing. Rumination, the repetitive, often negative thinking about an event or problem, is a major factor in extending emotional suffering beyond its natural lifespan. When an emotional trigger occurs and you fail to let it pass, you begin to ruminate. You replay the situation, analyze every detail, predict worst-case scenarios, and mentally argue with people who aren't even present. This behavior isn't problem-solving. It's a destructive loop that keeps your body and mind in a constant state of alert, releasing stress hormones long after the initial 90 seconds have passed. Rumination is like a broken record, and it is incredibly draining. It steals your energy, clarity, and peace of mind. It stands in stark contrast to allowing an emotional wave to pass. Instead, it's like clinging to that wave and being swept up in its aftermath. How to break the cycle. Acknowledge the emotion for 90 seconds. When you experience an emotional surge, acknowledge it without judgment. For example, say to yourself, "I feel angry right now," or "This is sadness." Allow yourself to feel the physical sensations for those initial 90 seconds. Don't fight it or analyze it, just feel it. Observe, don't engage. Imagine yourself as an impartial observer of your own thoughts. Notice the thoughts that arise, but don't get caught up in them. Avoid adding fuel to the fire. If a thought surfaces, such as "They always treat me this way," simply notice it without starting an internal debate or rehashing past injustices. Interrupt the pattern gently. After the initial 90 seconds, If you find yourself starting to ruminate, gently interrupt the pattern. This isn't about forcefully suppressing thoughts. It's about shifting your focus. Physical shift. Get up and walk around, splash cold water on your face, or do a few jumping jacks. A physical change can often break a mental loop. Sensory focus. Tune into your senses. What do you see, hear, smell, taste, or feel in your immediate environment? Concentrate on one of these senses, such as the texture of your clothes, the sound of birds outside, or the scent of your coffee. Breathing. Focus on your breath. Count your breaths and notice the rise and fall of your chest. This classic mindfulness technique helps anchor you in the present moment. Reframe. Immediately apply a reframe to the situation that triggered the rumination. Tell yourself, this feeling is temporary. What positive aspect can I find in this? Engage in a task. Shift your attention to an engaging activity, such as a hobby, a puzzle, a conversation, or a work task. Select something that demands your undivided attention. The key here is not to force it. If you try to suppress a thought aggressively, it often gains more power. Instead, gently redirect your attention, much like steering a boat away from a dangerous current. You're not fighting the current, you're simply changing your course. Now let's discuss the ultimate payoff, building anti-fragility. This concept, popularized by Nassim Nicholas Taleb, goes beyond mere resilience. Resilience is about bouncing back to your original state after a shock, while anti-fragility is about becoming stronger from stress, disorder, and uncertainty. To illustrate, think of a resilient package that can withstand being dropped. In contrast, an anti-fragile package actually benefits from being dropped. Perhaps it's designed to self-assemble or generate energy from the impact. How the 90-second rule, cognitive reframing, and breaking rumination contribute to anti-fragility. Learning from discomfort. Embracing discomfort as a source of growth enables you to navigate emotional challenges more effectively, ultimately leading to a deeper understanding of yourself. Developing mental agility. Cognitive reframing fosters flexibility in thinking, enabling you to explore alternative perspectives and enhance your resilience in the face of setbacks. Reducing internal noise. Breaking the cycle of rumination frees up mental energy, enabling clearer and more strategic thinking, as well as decisive action. Embracing uncertainty. Recognizing the temporary nature of emotions helps alleviate the fear of uncertainty, allowing you to view challenges as opportunities for growth. Strengthening neural pathways. Practicing these principles rewires your brain, enhancing emotional regulation and adaptive responses while diminishing rumination and distress. The quiet revolution, letting go of control. This approach paradoxically works best when you stop trying to suppress emotions. Instead, practice gentle observation and redirection. Accept the 90 seconds. Allow emotions to pass without resistance. Gently reframe. Offer alternative perspectives to negative thoughts. Quietly interrupt rumination. Shift your focus with kindness and curiosity. Like, comment, and subscribe for more videos.